What invention is so good that it actually can't be improved upon? P-trap, a simple elegant way to prevent odor from coming into your house via sink, toilet, etc. A lot of Asia still doesn't use this. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. We apparently have a bend in our plumbing near our septic tank that every few years gets clogged, and then I hear the sinks gurgle, and that's when I know to close all the bathroom doors and call a plumber because the smell is horrific. I can't imagine if that's just how it smelled every time the sink ran or a toilet flushed. We share a septic tank with our neighbor. I know when there's a blockage because the sink in our kennels doesn't drain away. I know the pip you walk off by heart now that I've had to unclog it several times. The septic tank has been cracked open a few times. Believe it or not, the smell is not as bad as you'd imagine. There's a hard crust of God knows what on top that traps the fresh sewage underneath. The oddest thing I saw was some sort of albino worm-like creature swimming in the sewage. It was a big fat thing. Gross. What are the odds one of y'all shat it out? A mirror is as good as it gets for its usage. I've heard the pincetter machine in bowling alleys has never had a redesign. It was perfect already. It depends. The fundamental mechanisms behind it has stayed the same, but different pinsetters have made minor adjustments to make common issues, well, less common. As of modern day, new high-end pinsetters have actually no perceivable way to change their core design. But yeah, this was what I was gonna say too, lol. Near perfect for its purpose. Who the duck are you? The pinsetter person? Yes, I'm training to be a pinsetter mechanic, and like 3/4 of my close family also knows at least intermediate pinsetter stuff. Oh, sorry. Wait, I can't tell if you're joking or if you're not joking. If you aren't, that's really ducking cool. If you are, I dunno. The XLR cable. Until they can beam something directly into your head, we kind of hit a dead end for perceived sound. The simplicity of what a cable can do by allowing both AC and DC power to flow through, so you can power and draw signal from a microphone. Plus the fact it's so simple to remove the noise you get from outside interference makes it even more genius. Phantom power. Spooky. To be honest, they improved the XLR cable by making those newfangled ones that take regular guitar cables and XLR. Paperclip. Last major patent was in the 1880s. On a similar note, the binder clip. Those little duckers are the source of many life hacks. Edit. Okay. I'll add mine. If you take 2 binder clips and clamp them together, you can make a holder for your phone to watch videos. That's a funny name for a potato chip bag clip. That's a funny name for a cable organizer. That's a funny name for nipple clamps. Cast iron skillet est. 1707. Rapunzel has entered the chat. Who knew? Here's your pan. Here's your frog. Ahem, chameleon. Pizza. You can change it up. You can ruin it. And you can fold it half like a crazy calzone munching madman. But you can't beat perfection. The calzones betrayed me. It's about the cones. Always has been. Baba Booey. The brick. It has been made of mud. Then mud with straw. Then mud with clay. Then finally with clay alone. That is as far as progress has taken the brick. In the, guess, 8,000 years since it was invented. And it is still in use today. Someone, lost in the obscurity of ancient history, realized that you couldn't build really strong stone structures with irregularly shaped small natural stones. And hewing huge lumps of stone into regular shapes was just ridiculously hard work. That person also observed that mud that fell into a fire was left hardened when the fire died down. So they figured that if you shaped mud into regular shapes, big enough to carry one in each hand, you would have all the advantages of small irregular stones and large geometrically carved stones, but with none of the drawbacks of either. This thought must have taken a second to dawn on the inventor. The practical work to prove the concept must have taken a weekend, at most. Perhaps a week or 2 to get the shape just right. And here we are, thousands of years later, and the damn thing has barely changed at all. The hollow concrete block is a major improvement. It's way more widely used around the world. And rubber is important, too. That might the real thing that cannot be improved upon. Someone realized that concrete and steel have the same thermal expansion coefficient and could be used together without cracking the concrete under changing temperatures. This gives both strength and flexibility to the concrete with no downsides. I don't think they will ever find something that could replace rubber steel in concrete and improve upon it. Different alloys that maintain the thermal expansion coefficient but don't corrode. Admittedly, proper install greatly mitigates the oxide jacking issue. Soon we may even see polymer rubber if the materials engineering folks can figure it out. The pocket. Girls' pants have entered the chat edit. The number of upvotes on this silly comment really speaks for itself. Seriously. Don't know why you guys are denied the convenience of pockets so often. Pocket real estate is a critical decision in my pants buying. If I get a pair of pants with less than 3 pockets, it's absolutely infuriating. Zipper. Best way to merge in traffic. Yes. It's meant to be a zipper you and $%. Learn to drive. Perhaps 2, maybe 3 times in my life. It has been my privilege to participate in a perfect multi-car zipper merge. Cars enter the highway. Both lanes look at each other and align. Then all at once, the cars on the right merge smoothly left, and exiting cars merge smoothly right. It was beautiful. I can't help imagining the future where all cars are self-driving. And zipper merging in symphony while we're just laying back chilling. No more road rage. No more congested traffic. I'd say nail clippers. Rich and poor people will use the same thing to clip their nails. Rich people pay poor people to clip their nails for them. And those poor bastards use the same nail clipper the other poor bastards use. Rubber bands. They work. When I was a kid, rubber bands would last for years. Now most of them fail within a year or so. Because they removed the cocaine. I knew they smelled different. I don't do cocaine. I just like smelling it. That mini trident you use to scratch your back, man, that's the best invention of human race. IDK, man, the lightsaber under my mom's bed was really nice when I used it as a back buttager. Holla up. Most professional classical music instruments are already in their final stage like piano and violin. Edit. Wording. Taking the other tack, most orchestral scores do not feature saxophone because it wasn't developed until the 1840s. Which is extremely recent on the musical timeline. The basic sewing needle. It really hasn't changed in thousands of years. There is no need for change. I'd argue that sewing machines are just advanced sewing needles. I still can't figure out how they work. I've seen animations and videos of the mechanics, but my brain refuses to process it, and it looks so simple. Almost too simple. The spoon is a pretty incredible invention. It can often sub as a fork or a knife, and it has a great name. Those special self-stabilizing spoons to help people with hand tremors feed themselves are pretty cool. Over-engineered for most people, but I'm happy they exist. I should make a self-stabilizing soldering iron. I have a moderate tremor and I can do most things, but I can't ducking solder, and I'm an electrical engineer. But how do you make one without soldering? Serious reply to a great question. You try a frustrating number of times. It's usually easier to clean up a botched solder than to get it right in one go. A knife. It can do anything. Soup. Poop. I wonder how many new redditors have no idea about poop knife. Here we go again. The soda can. The physics behind it have been perfected. There is a cool YouTube video about it. Plates. You can get the ones that don't smash. It's too good. Edit. Why is this my most upvoted thing on Reddit? Why? But thank you all for your upvotes. Zooples. Holy shit. I haven't thought about those things in years. You've just awoken some long forgotten memories. Zooples. Oink. Oink zooples. The steam turbine. It is such a useful way to convert heat into electricity that it would not be surprising to see one strapped to a fusion reactor if one ever get built. They're already strapped to fission reactors. That's pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, the steam turbine inventor was way ahead of his time. He really was a visionary. I see what you did there. Garlic bread. Windshield wipers. My engineering professor always lectured us on how perfect the design is and how the new changes made are strictly aesthetic and don't work any better. Until they invent one that cleans the whole window instead of just parts of it. Easy fix. Make the windshield in the shape that the wipers wipe. Mission accomplished. Wrap it up boys, you/Kiddery90 has solved it. I was going to say a shovel, but it looks like people have already said spoons. What is a spoon but a very small shovel? What is a shovel but a very large spoon? Are you asking if there's an invention that does its job so well that nothing else can do the same job better? Like how a light bulb can give off more light than a candle. But so far we haven't produced anything that emits light better than LEDs. Or are you asking if there's an invention that perfectly solves a specific problem, like if you want to keep dry while walking in the rain? Your best choice is an umbrella. Things that come to mind are AM/FM radio. It is about as efficient as it's going to get. The pencil and pencil sharpener. I don't really see how they can improve them. The match and lighter. The umbrella. The hammer. The bucket. The TV remote. The fishing pole. The hinge. The spring. Gonna have to disagree with the TV remote. It needs sharp pointy bits so people know when they're sitting on it. Also less of those buttons that serve no purpose but to confuse grandparents. And a button on the TV that sets off an alarm on the remote so you can find the button. I'd even settle for controls on the TV at least. It's so stupid that most TVs these days have an on button and nothing else. I'm only in my 20s and I feel old talking about how back in my day you could control the TV from the TV. The Schrader valve used to inflate your bicycle tires, car tires, tractor tires, etc. was patented in 1893. It is still used in virtually every tire on the planet. And now you know its name. Edit. My top comment ever. My ego is like inflated. Thanks. Fire cooking. We've been trying to improve it for almost 2 million years. God, I hate electric stoves. I hate electronic stoves, but love electric ovens. Yup. Gas cooktop and fan forced electric oven is perfection. Yup. Gas cooktop and fan forced electric oven is convection. Does cheese count as an invention? Yep. It's the final step of a specialized process. The specialized process of forgetting milk for a while. I'm going to go out on a limb and say a doorway. It's a portal. Plain and simple. An ancient invention that allows us to butt through walls. Sounds pretty awesome when you put it that way. The wheel. What are you going to do? Make it rounder. Edit. Guys, it's a joke, I understand that the modern wheel has brakes, suspension, and requires an axle. You can stop blowing up my inbox. Well, they put a tire on it. I dunno. Sliced bread is pretty hard to improve on. Plus it has made life easier for pretty much anyone who enjoys bread. I present to you double cooked sliced bread. I'll toast to that. You. Thanks bro. You too. Maybe the best inventions were the friends we made along the way. Chopsticks. Talk about consistency. It has been the same way for I have no idea how many years. But can you imagine a Bluetooth chopstick that can play music? When will the chopstick companies get it together? Would it play chopsticks? No. Chop suey. Is this even a question? The Juicero obviously. Thanks to its Wi-Fi dependency, you can watch PRN while your shut's juicing. I still can't believe a bunch of techie dipshits paid hundreds of dollars for a machine that squeezes juice out of a bag. I actually have an important question along these lines. Is there a sub 4 stories about reinventing the wheel? I often have a seed of an idea or a problem to solve, and then I develop that idea into a better idea. After X number of iterations I realize I've just reinvented something which already exists. Is there any sub for such? Brooms haven't changed, no matter how hard Swifter tries. I agree. Brooms really are as good as it gets. Vrooms came close, but brooms are definitely the best way to sound like a car. Im and me mom's car. Broom broom. Scissors are the perfect tool for cutting and shaping material that will likely never be improved upon. Hoodies. Cold. Hoodie. Underdressed. Hoodie. No bra. Hoodie. Hot. Hoodie. Rainy. Hoodie. Dead inside. You know it. Hoodie edit. Punctuation marks. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you want more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. You are helping me a lot. Thanks again.